in the grave, no fuck with me hand. I find some of them, they living too long, and every 5 years is the same old song. Some of them dead, just shame to lie down, so I prepare for them a burial ground. Rowley, my first grave for he, with joy in my heart, put him down with glee. All of them useless politician, only making up numbers in my island. Al-Rari, I refuse body, I leave them Muslim, them to deal with he. Big smile on my face and with me bare hand, it's time to move trash from out of this land. With he, I personally will prepare his body. Make sure he have a sardonic grin on his face. That's all he does do, that man is a waste. Bury he in the back of my cemetery. Turn he upside down, he face I can see. Look for the strongest grave digger to cover he. Not with the hand, put good fork on he. Gypsy, political grasshopper, I may feel little pity cause he's my brother. But like Tarzan, he's swinging from vine to vine. It's time I help you to make up your mind. Fitzgerald, Rasta City, I know they go glad to get the body. Ressi on beat, I'm done for all to see. Drink 2 beers and watch Coco get happy. But Kamala, I not ready to bury. She is a strong, determined woman like me, and deserve a chance to run this country. When she in power, I don't go hungry. And Calypsonian does get big money. She don't deserve no spot in my cemetery. I putting she in the center of the city. Paula, you too damn lazy. You sit on a throne while women die daily. You deserve a nice spot in my cemetery. All you do is just collect big salary. Regis, you disappoint me with your racial tongue. You like you can see. Your barber does trim you with weed waka. All day all you do is Sushila. You when PNM lost. One day you must come bust a line with me. We gon' knock a glass, make myself happy. I yadi that what you is to me. A grassroots man, stand up for country. I will stand by your side and watch you at work. But if you falter, you're going to get fucked. Watson, what is wrong with you? I thought you and Fally would have stick like glue. Boy, shake the man hand and tighten that spade before PNM come back and win that race. Shamfa, want we sacrifice, yet every week she have new weave, man, she living nice. You and the cold pot man resemble and strong. A bum seated red and you like a tongue.
Welcome, 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 welcome. Blessing, good afternoon to each and everyone. Welcome to Facts Not Fiction. Lady Gypsy, hats off to you. That is Kaiso. Sorry that you didn't involve Crew somewhere along the line inside of that. Because when we have sensible Calypsonian, with sensitive message that reflects the order of the day, that is what we call support, standing up, refuting the ills, the wrong of these dishonest politicians. So I salute you, ma'am. Hats off to you. I want to first welcome our viewers locally, internationally, regionally. You know, actually last night I went back and ponder on Fitzgerald Hines. And when I ponder on Fitzgerald Hinds and Hinds' statement that 70% of this country wants him to fail, I try to analyze and I try to wonder as to where Hinds get that statistic from. I was wondering what type of survey did Hinds conduct. I was wondering if Hinds conduct a racial scale. I was wondering if Hinds conduct an interval scale which really reflects and have to do with really the quantitative values. I try to wonder if it was an ordinal scale that Hinds used, which really includes statistics or statistical data. I ponder a bit more to see if Hinds utilized the multiple choice type of survey, which is really a question type survey. Or I was wondering if Hinds used an open-ended survey, which is really data collection. I was trying to figure out how Hinds arrived at this figure of 70%. I was also wondering the demographic use. I was wondering what age Hinds utilized to come up with that figure. I was also wondering what race, how much Indian, how much African. I was also wondering what sex, how much male, how much female, how much people was interviewed for Hinds to come up with this figure that 70% of the country wanted him to fail. I was also wondering how much people responded to Hinds' survey for him to come up with that figure. I was wondering the steps that was used in this survey for Hinds to arrive at this figure. I was also wondering if it was an online survey. I was also wondering if it was a phone survey where you call and you get the information, or the survey was placed online where people would text in yes, meaning I want you to fail, and some will text in saying no, I do not want you to fail. I was also wondering if it was a mobile survey where people drive around randomly and gather this information as they drive through areas, asking people, do you want Hinds to fail, or do you want Hinds to succeed as the Minister of National Security? You see, yesterday I tell you people about dishonest politics and dishonest politicians. I want to ask Hinds as the Minister of National Security, as the minister who has all the apparatus available. I want to ask Hinds today where he conducted this survey in order to arrive at that figure. Was that survey conducted in Barapore, Hinds? Or was that survey conducted in Port of Spain? When you look at the statistic, Hinds, the bulk of this criminal activity, this murder, this crime that is out of control, where we will find the bulk of this, Hinds? Would we find it in Penal Debe, or would we find it in Caledonia, Lavanti, Mova, Neverdirty, La Puerta, Diego Martin? La Horquetta, where did you conduct this survey? Where, if you are to look at the statistics, Hines, you will realize that if anybody wants you to fail, it's your own PNM people, Hines. That is where the bulk of the murder, the killing, the robberies taking place, is your own PNM people. If anybody wants you to fail, Hines, it's your own PNM people, Hines. It's your people. But why would they want you to fail, Hines? Have you ever stopped for a moment to consider why they want you to fail? Have you ever considered, Hines, is that the policies that you and your government implemented on this society is what causing you to fail? Did you ever stop to check, Hines, to see that is because of the way that your cabinet colleagues continues to rape the treasury of this country, rape the wealth of this country? Have you ever taken the time out to realize that you and your government is responsible for the behavior of the citizens, of those same people who you telling us is in 70% that want you to fail? Have you ever stopped to take cognizance of that, Hines? Think about it. You think about it. I keep warning this country about dishonest politicians. Politicians who lie with a greasy, slippery, matapel tongue. The tongue slip quick like a mat. You know it's a mat, right? Family to Igona. And you know what mat does? Run through. And when mat run through, he stop across the prit. And then he lick himself. He lick himself. And history will have it to say is that after the mat run through that heap of filth, he waits for the fly to land on him, and he send that tongue out and catch that fly. Today I am telling you, that is what the PNM have people running through in this country. You are running through the filth of the PNM, and all you get to do after you run through the filth is to stretch your tongue and see if you could catch that little fly. And that little fly, ladies and gentlemen, is what we can consider today to be a hamper bag. That is what the PNM have you running through. When I tell you about the dishonest politician, the same Hines that telling you that 70% want him to fail is the same Hines that stood up and tell this country how the UNC steal diesel from the pumps that was pumping out the Tutu water in Beetham. It was the same Hines who said that to you. It is the same Hines, if you want to go through his social media posts, is the same Hines will tell you about the racial UNC. Go through Hines' post, you will see Hines have it up there. The racial UNC. The UNC thieving diesel from the pumps that pumping out the Tutu water, which Hines should have been on the side where that water was exiting from. That is where Hines supposed to be, bathing in the water that pump out from that sewer hole, because Hines is a total failure. Not only Hines is a failure, but I am saying today, I am saying tonight, that Hines is an individual who continue to fail in every ministry. I will like Hines to produce Tell us, was it a scientific data, a scientific poll, sorry? How you arrive at that? But you see, when the chief lies and the servants enjoy the lies of the chief, and the servants use the chief as a mentor, unlike the children of this country who will never use Keith Rowley as a mentor. The cabinet using Rowley as a mentor. So you know what happened? All of them lying. Every one of them lying. That is what you get. But you see, you people, I want to tell you something. When you elect a bunch of clowns that you elect, and you put them as the headmaster over the country, all you will get coming out from among them would be a bunch of circus horse. That is what you will get coming out from them. And this is how these clowns run in the country, as though it is a circus. So they wonder, they hope, they try, they implement, they take back, they talk, they lie, and so they continue to go. And that is what you people support as governance in this country. We have seen a government for 7 years have not built anything in this country. We have seen a government for 7 years continue to break down and destroy every single institution that Kamla Persad Bissessar put to ease your suffering, to cushion your needs, to educate your children, to have you self-sustained. Every institution that Kamla put in place to help you, that today we would not be clocking 600 plus before the end of this year. The bunch of clowns that you have elected and placed in government, the bunch of dishonest Cosa Nostra. Today, ladies and gentlemen, you are reaping the benefit of your mistake. You are reaping the benefit of the mistake that you made not only in 2015, but again in 2020. You, the people of this country, you are equally to blame. Every supporter of Keith Rowley and the bunch of idiots that sits at the helm, you are to blame for the dilemma that we are in today. You are the people to blame. Because I cannot understand how in the first 5 years of the Rowley administration, you have seen the tendencies. You have seen the tendencies of every single one of these individuals who holds ministerial portfolio. You have seen the tendencies. You have seen the dosage of hardship that they were injecting into your veins on a daily, weekly, monthly, yearly basis. And even though you have been injected with that in 2015, in 2020 you roll your sleeves up, you walk with your own cotton swab and your mentholated spirit, and you have cleaned the spot for this government to inject more hardship upon you. But just this time, they did not only inject hardship upon you, they inject hardship upon your children, your grandchildren. And the needle is in the air, waiting to inject into the unborn babies who will come forward within the time frame that is left of this evil, wicked, brutal government that we have in power. You have allowed these individuals to use you. And today, with all the hardship that they continue to inject, all you are doing is just adjusting yourself like this spanner. That's all you are doing. Adjusting yourself to the crime situation. Adjusting yourselves to the bad roads and infrastructure. Adjusting yourselves to the lies of the Prime Minister and his cabinet colleagues. Adjusting yourself to the murder rate. Adjusting yourself to be beggars, depending on a bag of groceries. And when you can't get that bag, you even allow yourself to become enemy with others, while those who get that bag as a one-time event at this festive time, and then for the next 11 months, you will have to adjust yourself once again to the hardship that will continue to spiral throughout the length and breadth of this country. Dishonest politicians, ladies and gentlemen, who will stand up and comfort your air with hot, slippery words. Words that will comfort your air, but in reality, they mean the opposite to what they say into your hearing. They will tell you that they are the right choice, but yet to the end of the day, what you receive from them is really the worst choices. They will tell you that we deliver because we care, but what they deliver is only hardship, and they deliver a don't care attitude towards your problems, towards your necessity. That is what you get. Today a man tell me, Victor Roberts, you is the voice for Labour. You are the voice for Labour. We don't have no voice. But it have a but. And the but is the wrong party. The but is the wrong party. You hear what I telling you? The man tell me, Victor, you is the only voice we have in Labour. But the but is the wrong party, boy. The UNC. When you could understand the level of idiotism that floats within the brains of these individuals, that in this day and age, they watch race instead of watching life and livelihood. When you could understand, ladies and gentlemen, that in this day and age, while they're hungry and they're begging and they're starving and they're dying, they still have the breath to tell you about wrong party. Them Indian, that is what they have the breath, but they will never stand up and see that when the Indian was in power in 2010 to to 2015, they as African people benefited. They benefited. A matter of fact, that individual benefited tremendously while the Indian was in power. But today, that individual tell me that I am the voice, the only voice, but the party. You see, they rather adjust and open until they rip. They rather open like this shifting spanner. This shifting spanner still smart. He reached this point and he ain't opening no more. But them will open until they rip, till they tear under the PNM, rather than benefit under the UNC. But let me say this, that does not deter Victor Roberts. That don't deter me in the least manner. Because, ladies and gentlemen, Kamla Persad Bissessar was tried, tested, and proven to be the only prime minister in this country that brought about policies to improve man, woman, and children life to date in this country. The UNC is out of power because of dishonest politician. When a politician will stand up in parliament and show you some documents that probably was prepared even by that individual, and tell you that Kamala wants to murder people, and the papers and the media houses utilize that same piece of garbage on a daily basis to do just what the dishonest politician does do: lie into your ear and have you to believe that this was so, and then you, the people, decide that you're going to give up all that you had and believe the words of a lying Tobagonian man who stand up. And mind you, I have real friends in Tobago, you know. Real friends in Tobago. But this lying Tobagonian man who stood up and lied to you under parliamentary privilege. You see, dishonest politician, any and every time they had the lies, they always want to shelter under the parliament privilege. They always want to shelter under parliamentary privilege. So they will stand up in the parliament and blatantly lie and have it to cushion because they control, because they believe that they're in charge. And because of that, today you are paying a price, ladies and gentlemen. You are paying a priceless price because you have believed and trusted Keith Rowley and the team who will not stand up and defend you. I saw Beckers with a mark in she hand and they, and they're shaking and they're shaking. But you know what? I saw some comments, Beckers full of love, on the right track. You're on the right track, sister. Right track. Right track, all the deceitful liars. Beckers on the right track. If Beckers was on the right track, Beckers would have stand up and tell Keith Rowley, I am not going to accept what is happening in this country for government. If Beckers was on the right track, she would have long time put her hat in the ring and contest Rowley in this internal election that they used 3 days to try to keep Rowley in power. But you know what happened? You know what happened? They are afraid of Keith Rowley. And if you are afraid of a man who failed to declare, a man who get a gift for 400,000, a man, I want to go down that road. I want to go down that road. But a man who have questions to answer about a school girl, they're afraid. They have no fortitude. So they're hoping that somewhere along the line that Rowley will say, hey, look Beckers, hold it while I elevate myself. If Beckers was on the right track, Beckers would have defended all in this country. But you know what? All of them, every one of them, continue to benefit. They're benefiting. So you think them going to interfere with that? Them interfere with that for you? You feel them going and interfere with that for you? You feel Beckers going and say, I'm going to resign from this government because of corruption, nepotism, geographical discrimination. You think Beckers going to do that? I saw Beckers giving out some hamper the other day, and I see about 50 police at a walk in she own constituency to give out some bag of food. About 50 police. You think any one of them care about you? Them didn't care about you. But you know why they didn't care about you? Because you have proven you don't even care about yourself. You have proven that you do not care about your children. You have proven that you do not even care about your grandchildren. And all you do is lie to your children and grandchildren and tell them mommy love you. Tell them daddy love you. Because if all you did love all your children at all you would have been standing up against Keith Rowley and these austerity measures that they continue to implement upon you, the people, where you cannot even provide. So all you didn't care. All you is liars just as the government. Rowley stand up and tell all you, we not closing down petrol train. And while he tell you that, next day Espany tell you, all will exit. All. Everybody. All you. And all you accept. All you accept. All you surrender. All you throw all your hands up in the air. And today, all you have all your hands in the air still, but all you're begging now, please, Massa, please have mercy, Massa. I see a man in a video this morning on the Chatham Road that very soon he may be passing there and could break his neck when the little piece of road give away. And here what he's saying on this video, ashamed to see this, but he's a born PNM. I was a PNM all my life. Oh God, Rowley help we now. Do something for we. Do something for we. Do something for we. And he go our children. He go our grandchildren. He begging Rowley like a little boy. After he boasts, he said, I'm an old man now, you know. But oh God, Rowley, do something for we now, man. Only help we here now, man. Rowley leave the road just so till the neck break. Because they wicked to themselves. They wicked to the children. They wicked to the grandchildren. They wicked to the country. You can't tell me. You cannot tell me that the South Peninsula mind this country. The South keep PNM in power for over 47 years. The South build Port of Spain. The South build the capital. The South have those politicians in the PNM living in high-rise building. The South have their bank account fat. The South have them driving Porsche Cayenne and the most expensive Benz in the world. Ask Rowan Sinanan how much he pay for his own. The South have these people living like kings and queens. And you begging this morning, please, I don't like to waste God's name, you know. Oh God, Mr. Rowley, Dr. Rowley, do something for we. Do something. No, run through the filth and licks on your tongue and lick your skin after and catch the fly. That is what you asking for. We don't have to beg this country. We don't have to beg this government to fix the infrastructure. We don't have to beg this government to provide job opportunities. We don't have to beg this government to have education right up the ladder. This is our rights because the wealth of this country is not Sinanan, Rowley, Hines, Forrest, Stuart Young. I should take back that. I should take back that. But in the real sense, the wealth of the country belongs to the people of the country. But you have allowed the selective few to benefit and enjoy, and to drive and to ride, and to eat and to drink, and to smell and to dress out of your resources while you begging Rowley, oh God, help we? Are they sick people or what? The African people in this country should be ashamed. Only should be ashamed. Because only supported that for how much years? How much years only support that? And what that do to you? What that do to your future? What that do to the future of your children? What that doing to the future of your grandchildren? What is that doing for you? Hardship, hardship, and more hardship. You see him but will implement measures upon you and laugh at you. Begging you to riot. The police don't lock up Imbud because Imbud begging this country to riot. I raise it and they ain't riot. I raise it again. But they ain't rioting. I raise it again. And it's still in riot yet. So I'm going to raise it the next time. Which he did. The minister begging all to riot. Please. All you come and riot. Look at raising it. And he laughing like the Grinch. Look at raising it. All you riot now. All you even protest himself. All you even coming out. Oh Lord, I want to give up this work. I have enough. All you riot, let me jump on a plane and go. All you do something now, man. I want to go. The man begging all you. The man pleading with all you. All you do something, I'm going to raise it again. Telling you beforehand, I'm going to do it to you again. You have a dishonest prime minister. You have a dishonest minister of finance. And you have a whole dishonest team. Rowley stood up and tell you that the system that he put in place is that when the gas price drop, it will drop at the pump. How much weeks now the gas price drop? What is the price you're still paying at the pump? Rowley tell you that the price will fluctuate. When it's up, you're going to have to pay a little more. And when it go down, you go benefit. The gas price gone down. What you're paying at the pump still. And all you're so blind and pig-headed and dotish that all you ain't seeing that the government abusing all you. And all you just cooking up and taking abuse. All you love abuse. All you ain't saying nothing. All you getting abuse. Look. That is what all you accepting. That is what all you taking. They're lying to all you in every form and fashion. And yet to the end of the day, all your glory within all your own mire. All you rather be a big fish in a small pond. The pond of the Barize. That is what all you rather be. Big fish in this country, but Rowley have all you in a small pond. And as all you multiply, all you get eat up, yap, quick. But the water drying, you know. All you stay in that small pond, the water drying up. All you just ain't feeling it yet. Because it drying from the end. And every time it dry from the end, all you go in more deeper. Every time the water dry on the outskirts, all you still telling all yourself, all you in a good place because you in water. But very soon, all you will realize that it has nowhere to go. The water done in the pond. And when the water done in the pond, then all you go eat one another. That is what all you heading for in this country. You see how the criminal element done started to eat all you? You know why they eating all you? Because them pond dry up already. And as soon as the pond dry, it's more and more criminals you will get. Every time the pond close in and the water dry, it's more criminals will surface. All you feel this year bad? Wait till next year under Rowley. Every time the pond dry, every time the water come in, is more criminals going to rise up because they have to put food on the table. So what the criminals are doing now is targeting those of you who is still inside the water. That is what they're doing. Those of you who inside the water, they're targeting you. They're targeting you. And until you who inside the water realize that your water drying up and decide to stand up against the few little fish who's swimming in the big ocean, Hines in the ocean, Rowley in the ocean, Beckers in the ocean, Regis in the ocean, Sidanan in the ocean, Stuart Young in the ocean, Norberga in the ocean, Scotland in the ocean, the whole team, Brian Manning, them in the ocean. While you, the whole country in the small pond, they're swimming in the ocean. And they're swimming with your money floating, sheltering them from the sun. But you in the small pond, dying in the small pond, but yet all you doing is adjusting and watch adjusting, and now the pond close. What would be the result of you when the pond close? What will be the result of you? All you had a woman who Rowley and the team fabricate all kind of allegation. Give me the chance in government, we go lock she up. Put us in office. They pulling out paper from the back pocket. We had the information here. We have it. Give me the opportunity. 7 years. And they can't touch Kamala. You know why they can't touch Kamala? They can't touch Kamala because Kamala Prasad Bisesa was one of the most honest prime minister to sit in that chair. And I hope when she get back there, she pelt that chair that Rowley sitting on outside so she wouldn't get contaminated. You hear what I'm saying? Pelt that chair outside. Power wash the diplomatic center. Power wash everything. Don't allow yourself to get contaminated by touching anything. Rowley like COVID. You see how much time he say, yeah, COVID? He like COVID. As you touch, you get contaminated. That is why none of them in the cabinet will ever stand up against Rowley. All the talk, none of them. The lawyers and them will never stand up. The judiciary, who are the responsibility to even interpret constitutional laws, they will never stand up. Because who Rowley have in the back pocket, he have in the front pocket. And who he don't have in the back pocket and the front pocket, he had them in the fobs. So the only hope for this country is you, the people. You, the people, you are the only hope for this country. Grow some fortitude. Grow some fortitude. Grow some. I keep telling you that this is not a joke. Or you're going to pay a brutal price in this country. A brutal price. Because right now I want to ask Hines. If he belongs to Rasta City. I want to ask Hines that. Whatever city that is. I want to ask him if he belongs to Rasta City. You can't tell me you have a man as a national security with no brain. No brain. A that head on the head with no brain. But coming to lie to this country to tell we 70% will him fail. And only accepting that. Only accepting that. Kamala Prasad Bisesa had a number of individuals as national security. As you fail, she cut your throat. Move, next man. You couldn't handle it, next man. You have allegation, out the cabinet, go and answer. You have allegation here, out the cabinet, go and answer. That is what a good prime minister ought to be doing. Cannot allow serious allegations against your ministers and would not send them to clear the name. But how could you send them to clear their name when you as the prime minister had to clear your name too? I had to answer to this country because I buy a home. Rowley, nobody cares if you buy a home. But there's a policy in place if you want to buy a home. There's an integrity commission that you have to declare to. The constituency have a problem with I buying a home. Yes, we have a problem. We have a problem with the method that was used for you to end up with that home. That is where the problem is. I don't know, ladies and gentlemen, what all you want to hear again. You know. I don't know what all you want to see again. You know. I really don't understand what these people in this country are allowing themselves to become. I really don't know. What is wrong with you? Look, Archie, play that song for me again. Play that song for me again, Archie. I want them to take it in. I want them to listen it.
I have a political cemetery. It's not for people like you and me. It is for all them politicians. And I dig in their grave, no fuck with me hand. I find some of them, they living too long. And every 5 years is the same old song. Some of them dead, just shame to lie down. So I prepare for them a burial ground. Rowley, my first grave for he. With joy in my heart, put him down with glee. All of them useless politicians, only making up numbers in my island. Al-Rari, I refuse body. I leave them Muslim, them to deal with he. Big smile on my face and with me bare hand. It's time to move trash from out of this land. In but I taking my time with he. I personally will prepare his body. Make sure he have a sardonic grin on his face. That's all he does do, that man is a waste. Bury in the back of my cemetery. Turn he upside down, he face I can see. Look for the strongest grave digger to cover he. Not with the hand, put good fork on he. Gypsy, political grasshopper. I may feel little pity cause he's my brother. But like Tarzan, he's swinging from vine to vine. It's time I help he to make up his mind. Fitzgerald, Rasta City, I know they go glad to get the body. Resi on beat am down for all to see. Drink 2 beers and watch Coco get happy. I don't care all who go vex with me, but Kamala I not ready to bury. She is a strong, determined woman like me and deserve a chance to run this country. When she in power, I don't go hungry. And Calypsonian does get big money. She don't deserve no spot in my cemetery. I putting she in the center of the city. Paula, you too damn lazy. You sit on a throne while women die daily. You deserve a nice spot in my cemetery. All you do is just collect big salary. Regis, you disappoint me with your racial tongue. You like you can see. Your barber does trim you with weed waka. All day all you do is sushila. Fally boy, you is a boss. I celebrate with you when PNM lost. One day you must come bust a line with me. We gon' knock a glass, make myself happy. I yadi that what you is to me. A grassroots man, stand up for country. I will stand by your side and watch you at work. Or if you falter, you're going to get fucked. Watson, what is wrong with you? I thought you and Fally would have stick like glue. Boy, shake the man hand and tighten that space before PNM come back and win that race. Shamfa, one quiz sacrifice. Yet every week she have new weave, man, she living nice. You and the Pol Pot man resemble and strong. A bum seated bread and you like a tongue.
people of this country have to make your mind up to stand up for what is right. Nobody asking you to do anything wrong. We are just asking you to stand up and hold politicians accountable for their action. I am asking you to stand up and to demand trustworthy, honest politicians to run this country. I am not asking you to change your ethnic background. I am asking you, the people of this country, to act before it's too late. And let me say this. Kamla Persad-Bissessar have moved away from the traditional politics. And Kamla were able to move the UNC from south of the Caroni Bridge. Kamla recognized that keeping the UNC within the south of the Caroni Bridge would only keep you in opposition. And that is why this brilliant woman were able to open the doors, to open the opportunity for whosoever will to come in and work together to build a better Trinidad and Tobago. Kamla took blows, a lot of blows, for opening the party in that particular way. But within her wisdom, she knows that remaining in opposition would not allow Trinidad and Tobago to excel. And therefore, she had put her back to the crowd and her shoulder to the wheel and allow the UNC to expand to the point where every creed and race could now find an equal place. And I am not saying that there may not be detractors from that policy that Kamla has implemented. I am not saying there may not be the detractors. I am not saying, ladies and gentlemen, that at all. But this woman, within her wisdom, within her intellectual capacity, she knows what this country needs, and therefore she had offered herself, even though if it may result in political death. Kamla Persad-Bissessar offer herself, remove every obstacle, and make this party, bring this party to the point where this party is quite capable, where this party has shaped itself and are prepared to rule this country once more, giving every man, woman, and child the opportunity to be a proud citizen of Trinidad and Tobago. Kamla Persad-Bissessar, ladies and gentlemen, were able to do what nobody else could have done in government. Kamla Persad-Bissessar still stand ready to deliver to you, the people of this country. But you must first want to give yourself a chance. You have to first want to give yourself that breathing space. You have to first want to raise your nose out of the water that the PNM keep having you in at this point in time. You have to give yourself the opportunity to remove your mouth out of the water that the PNM keep pressing down your head in. and give yourself a chance in order to make yourself a proud citizen once more, not dependent on a handout. You have listened to all the talk show hosts. You have listened to all the analysis and the direction in which everybody pointed is that this country has now become a country of handouts. You are proud parents. You are proud citizens. You are proud fathers. You are proud mothers. I said to you yesterday, this time of the year, your grocery used to be tall in the trolley. Now the supermarkets and the marketplace empty. You have seen so much posts on social media where the markets empty, where trolley people used to move with 2 trolley, now they're moving with a handbag. They cannot even afford to have a trolley with food items, while a selective few will be carrying car trunk and maxi load of groceries, unwanted groceries, and what they don't use, they send to the dump, where some people have to also go and make a living. That is what you have allowed yourself to become in this country. I am telling you tonight that the opportunity is still before your door. I am telling you tonight that you have the options to renew your spirit, to renew your life, to renew your livelihood. But this cannot be done under Keith Rowley, Beckers, Alwari, Stuart Young, Manning, and the team. You would not get another opportunity as you had gotten in 2010 and 2015. And some people may say, why I go to 2010 and 2015 while we in 2022? I go there to remind you, for you to sit and remember what was your status, what was your standard of living back then under Kamla Persad-Bissessar. That is why I will keep carrying you back, so you will understand what you had, and you could see the difference with what you have. And what you had was always better than what you have. What you had could match up any day, any time to what you have. Why you think that there are those who will continue to scandalize and defame Kamla Persad-Bissessar? Why you think some may even pay to scandalize Kamla's character? Why you think that the PNM slogan is Kamla must go? Because the PNM know that Kamla was tested, tried, and proven, and Kamla is the only individual at this time could take government away from the People's National Movement. I challenge anybody. The propaganda that Kamla must go, that Kamla weak, that is the message that is being paid for. That is the song that has been paid for, so that you, the ULC supporter, you, the undecided voter, and even you, the PNM voter, who cannot accept Keith Rowley. Rowley know if Kamla get back in power, it will be the end of his legacy and the PNM for a long while. have to target Kamala. Kamala must be the target. So don't fool yourself. That slogan, Kamala must go, Kamala weak. You think that slogan is not a finance slogan? That slogan is finance. The PNM will spend any amount of money to keep that song singing because of fear for Kamala Persad-Bissessar. And there might very well be those in the UNC who will also sing that song. Don't rule it out. Because some of them in their position. Because some of them were removed. And probably some looking for position. So don't rule it out. We have to stand strong in this country. We have to stand brass face, bold face, just like how Rowley does lie to all you. Let me tell the mothers of this country, first and foremost, you see the brass face? We have to stand bold face and brass face and come out here and get out there and tell this country we're not accepting what is happening for governance. The date is there, no, don't worry. Permission will be sought very soon. Permission will be sought very soon. I really want to see the kind of people we have in this country. I want to see that. And all you know the kind of man I am. All you know I don't afraid to walk alone. All you know I don't afraid to do my part. I will do my part all the time, every time. I must never be on the side of history that allow this country to go down the drain. I and my family will never be on that side of history. We will do our part, come what may. I want to see if you people in this country go do your part. I want to see if you would accept the level of criminality in this country. I want to see if you will accept the level of grades that your children make in this society. And don't blame the pandemic, you know. Don't blame the pandemic. Don't blame the pandemic. Blame yourself and blame Rowley. Rowley stand up. I don't know if Archie have it. Rowley stand up and say that laptops is detrimental to the train of this country. Rowley stand up and say that. Rowley make that clear. That laptops interfering with the curriculum. Rowley make that clear. Rowley said the worst thing could happen is laptops in the hand of a child. So don't blame pandemic. Blame yourself and blame Rowley. That is who all you have to blame. All you had the opportunity. Vision. The digital age was approaching, and Kamala saw through that and decided to digitize the whole educational system. Schools were building where you could have jacking on the floor, computerized blackboard. All that was happening. Preparation was there. Only allowed this big head, bald head, Oreo to send all your children back down. Back
Where
down.
we differ from the current approach is that the PNM considers the government's laptop caper to be doomed to failure, wasteful, and possibly counterproductive. The provision of laptops to entry-level students, while seniors largely have no access or very little access, is downright foolhardy. It is logistically burdensome on students and parents. It puts some students at risk. It is overly expensive, and we are not convinced that the action flows from any well-thought-out policy, but from the need to produce goodies for an election campaign when you think that the more you give, the more votes you will get. Mr. Speaker, given that a not insignificant proportion of our youngsters are challenged to score well in basic reading, a computer in some of those hands could be an unintended distraction. Mr. Speaker, on this explanation, the Minister of Education has a laptop for you. He thinks you're a dunce head first former.
All you hear is dunce-head idiot. All you listen to that dunce-head idiot, that is what all you support. That is what all you support. The man tell all you, every school is built by the government. Every health center is built by the government. Every this and every that is built by the government. So all you better start to wean off the government. And all you clap and all you scream and all you yeah. But what Ollie didn't know is that Ollie would have been screaming now and saying, Ollie too wicked. That
Every road to be built in this country has to be built by the government. Every school, every health center, every this, every that. Because in this country, for the last generation or two, we've grown up on the government.
Yaba Kwolachi, welcome Kola.
Good night, the Honorable Victor Roberts, and to all your listeners and all UNC supporters. HYMC. Now, let me get into my piece, my contribution. First of all, there is a calypso by Lady Gypsy. I believe we had to push that to be played regularly on all radio stations. It's a fantastic, for the longest while, I ain't heard a calypso like that, and I'm not a calypso lover,
Right.
but this calypso is real good. Now, I want to talk about Santa Claus. And Santa Claus are going to be offensive, but I hope people understand where I'm coming to. It looked like you really bringing a bag of 600 plus homicides before Christmas. We might bring it Christmas Eve. And that is sad because we have the Minister of National Security, the real vaccine vagrant, Minister of what should I say, Attorney General Legal Affairs, all of them facilitated and contributed to me locking myself inside at 6 o'clock, 6:30, because they don't care. Now, I want to talk about Paria. And a couple of days ago, I heard the Honorable MP for Chaguanas said he wants to hear Stuart Young in the inquiry, because he was there Saturday morning in the meeting and he met the parents, you know. We had to find out if they discussed the termination of those lives.
Right.
We have the thing from recovery to recuse. He was in the middle. More importantly, the man himself, the real partner of Ayatollah, came back the night. Remember, you went and see the Ayatollah of Iran?
Right.
And he had a press briefing as soon as he come in, and they say he had IBS and he ran away. Everything was happening, conversation, because the real neighbor was playing golf, and I hear they say he had to hire a helicopter to come back. They had to be talking, so all of them had to come and tell us. And I don't know why people afraid. I want them come. I want to know who play God and move from recovery. Move from rescue to recovery. Somebody play God, put their hands there, and I want to know who is that. who made that decision? Was it a decision made on economics or human? What should I say? Human sympathy? No, something wrong. No, the swimmer who came out alive, that Mr. Budram, I want to give him some advice. I think he's worth a couple of $1 million. And why I'm saying that? As somebody who has some skills and competency in quality systems, management and quality systems, he did something that never happened in Trinidad. He came out of a pipeline. So he has a lot of information that we must, since last week, documented. So he should get hold of a competent quality system person and document everything that occurred while he was in the pipeline. And that person has to document his physical structure, his physique, and he has to document his psychological frame of mind. So map out everything, because that was the first successful exit and savior of a person in a pipeline. 4 was lost. So he has all that is necessary to do a protocol now for saving future events like this. And that fellow who called Paria is a potong. I had to use that. This is the first time something like that. And there's something called, when you're competent in quality system, you understand what is speed and execution. That was not clearly at all. Nobody understood how to do it, because it's the first time you have to basically see a probability of success and come and make a decision, a hard decision. Yeah, everybody knows to have a decision, but this is harder, and you have to be competent. You have to have the psychological competency also to do it. And I'm saying right now, they don't have a quality system. I'm going to have a nice...
Kola, may I ask you something before you go?
Yes, sir.
Would you be coming out to the match?
Yeah, I'm waiting for it.
Okay, thank you.
You understand? I was so disappointed that how they had 2 other matches and they deny you. So that is discrimination, and why they discriminated against you. They had some what they call him, Dottin, and they had something. Why they gave those two other people and you write them about 12 days in advance? Something is wrong, and that is why your partner told you I went on vacation.
So I wouldn't comment on it because we're going to court with it. So I will leave it there for now.
Well, I'm a bush lawyer. So I go to my mouth.
Thank you.
Okay. Nice. Okay.
Welcome, caller.
Good evening, Mr. Victor, Archie, and to everybody out here.
Good day, ma'am.
Now, good evening. Here, I want to tell Mr. Sahina, Rowley's the Santa Claus that bringing all them the 600 plus murders. Let us so beat about the bush about it. And Heinz is the elf, one of his elves. You understand? And Heinz coming to say, you know, in other words, then is UNC don't want them to succeed. But they have no plan, and the press conference with Dinesh and Sean Sobers, it was beautiful. They let him have it.
Mm-hmm.
They let him have it, and they have no shame. Heinz have no shame. All they had no plans, no policies. Kamala told them that from the beginning. Yes, maybe they went about it the wrong way with Rodney Charles, with his wheel or whatever. But they were facts. We are seeing it today. We are seeing it today. No, Mr. Victor, you ask a question. You've been asking that question since you started about Kamala weakness. But you see, Kamala is weak for them because she's not getting on like a wajang like Rowley.
Correct.
Look at what Manning had to say about him. When he cannot get his way, he acts like a raging bull. Rowley lied his way into office, and he's lying to keep his status. Is that what they want Kamala Persad to do? I don't want that. We were against Rowley, and we are against Rowley for the lying. Do we want Kamala to do that? I don't. The man came with fake emails. The man lied. It was one lie after the next. Do we want Kamala to do that? If that makes Kamala a weakling, yes, she's a weakling. Leave her right here. She know how to go about doing things. She know how to go about doing things. And before I go further, that calypso that Mr. Sahina spoke about, I sent it for you. When I got it today, I sent it for you. For you to play. That is man. The words were prophetic. Really, really good. And that is what they're doing. Now you'd say there might be people in the UNC. Let me tell you something, Mr. Victor. There are people in the UNC who cut in her down. There are people doing it. More than anybody on the outside. More than anybody else on the outside. Well, we have PEP people talking about all the money UNC thief. They could have come out now and fixed all the roads and things. But I want the people in PEP. If all you know Kamala and them thief, right? And any PNMite who know Kamala and them thief, take it to Rowley. Don't go to the police yet. Go to Rowley. Because Rowley fabricated things on the UNC. Rowley hired SRP Kate to find things on the UNC. And if all you know Kamala and them thief, go, all you will get the money that he given SRP Kate. All you will get the bounty. Give him something now. Give him some proof that Kamala and them thief the money.
Miss Santa Cruz.
Yes, sir.
Those are just PNM idiots. So don't hurt your head with them. Them is just detractors.
Yes, let me tell you something, Mr. Victor. Sometimes we have to hurt the head. Because you see, when they talk like that, these fence sitters, although the fence sitters seeing what it is going wrong in the country, right? Yet still, they would still believe some of these nastiness. And let me get back to the UNC people. We saw the billboard man. We saw the billboard man because he did not get chosen as an MP, because he did not get a senatorial position. He ran to put a billboard. And when I tell you the people in the UNC do not see what it is they're talking about, and then they want to say they're still UNC members. But how can you all be saying, and then they want to blame Kamala? Blame Kamala for losing an election. I had to tell some of them, I said, when all is speaking like that, who will want to join the UNC? Nobody. All you see what Rowley doing to the country. But you see, we never miss the water until the well run dry. And let me tell you something. That song that Lady Gypsy sang, she said she never went hungry when Kamala was there. That is so true. Nobody went hungry in this country. And tonight I listening shame. It's shame when you play back that clip with Rowley speaking about the laptop. And look at today. Look at today. You have to beg. You have to be begging people. But I will say to the PEP people, all the money Rowley and them thiefing, allegedly thiefing, right? They can go and give all the children in this country laptops. Stop building Bali's house a little bit. Stop it. And start and finish the schools and them. Because as you rightly said, they take away the children's education. That 2 years that those children lost, they'll never get it back. And the Ministry of Education is not making an effort to give those children back those 2 years. Because first to begin, they have to do a means test to get a laptop, right? So they take away the education, they take away the schools, they're taking away everything from everybody. And if people cannot see that yet, something is wrong with the people of this country. And I'm praying hard that you get permission for us to go in that match. Mr.
Thank
Victor,
you, ma'am.
thanks a lot and have a good evening. Take care.
Your baba does trim you with weed waka. All day, all you do is Sushila.
Welcome, caller.
Good evening, Mr. Robert.
Good day, good day.
Mr. Robert, I tired here those sour grapes with Kamala Week and Kamala Week. Well, Kamala was weak, and what she did in 5 years? Well, I would like to see what she would do when she was strong. In 5 years. And at the PNM there for over 7 years, what they do? Nothing.
Yeah.
All we have multiplying, and we hear is only rape, murder, killing. That's all I hear. That's all I hear. And you could bet your life before the end of the year we could reach 600. So I don't care if Kamala weak or what Kamala cheat, what they get for us, what she did for us in 5 years. People should shut them out and say, oh God, bring her back. That's what we need to do. Bring her back. When they say, or people say, when you're in good house, bad house, call you. Well, go back to the good house now. Make up all your mind and go back to the house. According to you, get off all the tail and do something.
Yeah.
Have a good night. Okay, have a good night.
Thank you. Thank you.
I don't care all who are vexed with me, but Kamala I not ready to bury. She is a strong, determined woman like me, and deserve a chance to run this country. When she in power, I don't go hungry. And Calypsonian does get big money. She don't deserve no spot in my cemetery. I putting she in the center of the city. Paula, you too damn lazy.
And the caller is quite right. The caller is quite right. You see, I don't pay too much attention to the old talk, because I am telling you, the people who condoning those talks, there are some who are staunch PNM, and as Ms. Santa Cruz rightly said, there is also some within. But I don't really worry, because let me tell you why I don't worry. Kamala is a smart, clever individual. Kamala knows exactly what is happening, when it's happening, and why it's happening. So I say that to say this. Kamala also tests people. Kamala also looking at the whole scenario. What do I mean? To the end of the day, I don't know why people have a problem with being replaced. I don't know why people have a problem with serving for a period of time. I don't know why people have problem when they are removed from any position. You did not born with a position. A position was given to you by the political leader, and that position was given to you because at the time the leader saw that you were the fittest person for that position. As time goes on, you will have to decrease for somebody else to increase. So I don't see what is the big problem with I didn't get this position and I didn't get that position and I won this position and I will mash it up if I can't get this position and I go do anything. No. I have one policy, and my policy is that I am saying that merit must be the order of the day. Merit, you want a position, then work for it. Work for it. That is what you have to do. Don't try no shortcut, don't try no underhand, don't try no backstabbing, don't try no stranglehold. Work for it. Prove yourself. And once you prove yourself, like Kamala proved herself during her tenure as Prime Minister, you know why I will stand up and support Kamala Persad-Bissessar now, next week? I will support Kamala Persad-Bissessar because Kamala had proven herself as Prime Minister. And until Kamala falter, until Kamala decide to behave like Rowley, Hines, or any one of them, Kamala will have my support. That is my position. And I am not seeing in the DNA in Kamala Persad-Bissessar to behave anything close like the PNM. That is my position. So to the end of the day, I have no problem with what people think or feel. Welcome, caller.
Good night, Victor.
Hello?
Hi, Victor.
Yes, Brian. Good night. Go ahead.
Good night. And I'm sure you are joined by the indomitable Artie.
Of course.
You know, I unfortunately, I was having a little problem picking up the live feed. So I want to say, because where I am, it's a little hard to get the data. I want to say, I know you're talking about the boss lady. And I will say this, that I agree with you. Kamala Persad-Bissessar is and will always be the way forward for this country. But I must, if I may crave your indulgence, if I may. And I listened to the Minister of National Security, Fitzgerald Hines. And I'm asking if you can crave my indulgence. Fitzgerald Hines said, and he wished he had the nation supporting him to fight crime. Mr. Hines, with all due respect to you, sir, the nation is not a issue of you fighting crime, you know. The nation is saying it's time for you to go. Because we are almost 3 murders away, from what I understand, to reach 600 murders. 600, you know. 600. 600. I'll say it again. 600. And Fitzgerald Hines is the Minister of National Security. And he is overseeing 600 murders. And I am calling today. I am saying as it is, that Fitzgerald Hines must go. It's not 70% saying that. It's not 80% saying that. It's not 90% saying that. It's 100%. Because I'm sure you would recall and remember that when about a few weeks ago, when the nation was given an early Christmas present, that Fitzgerald Hines was fired. It was all over social media. The nation spoke and said, thank you, God. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Allah. Thank you, Ram. Thank you, Shiva. Because they saw that finally Dr. Keith Christopher Rowley said, hey, time for that man to go. But that wasn't done. You had with Dr. Keith Christopher Rowley come and say, well, hey, I keep it in. So not only must Hines go, but Rowley must go. My God. Victor, I remember when murder rate was so low under the United National Congress reign in both terms of the UNC, because the UNC has a plan, and that plan is known how to fight crime. Kamla Prasad, as Prime Minister, ensured that there was a crime plan. But you have a runaway government. My God. Victor, can you understand what I am telling you? That we are 3 figures away from 600 murders, where someone has lost a mother, someone has lost a father, someone has lost a son, a daughter, a child, and this man is still there.
But Brian,
Uh-huh.
it seems as though the population is quite comfortable with the 600 murders, because we are not seeing the church, we are not seeing the chambers of commerce, we are not seeing the business sector, we are not seeing the trade unions, we are not seeing the citizens, we are not seeing people saying enough is enough. We have saw what happened with people in 2015 after all these lies and allegations that were fabricated and trumped up. But today, people dying just as flies at the side of the road, and it seems as though that the country is comfortable. So why Hines must go? Why Rowley must go? When the people not taking any initiative, according to Section 4 of the Constitution, to voice and to express the dissatisfaction with what is with the state of affairs in this country.
My brother, I don't disagree with you there. I agree with you. Where is Father Clive Harvey today? Where are all these persons who had mouths? Where are they? And my friend, I will tell you, you're quite correct. The Constitution gives you a right to speak out on matters, right? But I know that you will have a day in court to answer that by bringing the TCPS answer when they give you a conditional approval, which I am still asking today as an attorney at law. What is that? My friend, don't worry, you know. Don't worry. Once you have people like me in your corner, not even with that 10-foot rod they could touch you. Just as they couldn't touch you on the steps of the Hall of Justice, they could not touch you now.
Thank you, my brother.
I will close with this, and I will tell you this: that as long as I have breath in my body, as long as blood flows in my veins, Brian Nathaniel Bay will ensure that Victor Roberts will have victory with his movement, his marches, because I so far I know I have not failed you, and I know no one else has failed. And the United National Congress will continue to stand forward and will go forward with the leadership of Kamala Prasad Bisatwa. Continue to have a good night, my friend. And nonetheless, I will tell you, I wish you a Merry Christmas. The entire Doga politics team have a very good Christmas nonetheless. To the indomitable William Archie, a man who stands forward, I wish you all a Merry Christmas.
Thank you very much, Mr. Big.
Thank you. Archie, give me that tune there again. I think we might take one more call before we close off.
Putting she in the center of the city. Paula, you too damn lazy. You sit on a throne while women die daily. You deserve a nice spot in my cemetery. All you do is just collect big salary. Regis, you disappoint me with your racial tongue. You like you can't see. Your baba does trim you with weed waka. All day all you do is Sushila. You when PNM lost. One day you must come bust a line with me. We gon' knock a glass, make myself happy. I yardy that what you is to me. A grassroots man, stand up for country. I will stand by your side and watch you at work. But if you falter, you're going to get fucked. Watson, what is wrong with you? I thought you and Fally would have stick like glue. Boy, shake the man hand and tighten that spade before PNM come back and win that race. Shamfa, one we sacrifice. Yet every week she have new weave, man, she living nice. You and the cold pot man resemble and strong.
So I want to call on Wassa. I want to call. We have a call? Welcome, caller.
Good night, Comrade Roberts, Archie, and the whole cast.
Good night, good night.
To everyone. Then I think I hear you talk in the background about you want to call on Wassa. Yes, because Wassa victimizing some people down in the Faizabad road here.
What area?
Faizabad area.
Faizabad.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, Mr. Roberts. So, as I was telling you, right, so, Wassa, no, in 9 weeks now, right, if the line bursts, if they get the water when they open it, and you're not getting water, you're going to sell it, it's leaking out. But anyway, Marvin Gonzalez, like, he want all the water to bathe with, because I hear he does do water sports. You know, Jesus walked the earth, right? And they condemn him. And they say he was no good. And it's the spirit. And they try to kill him. And they say they could not get rid of him. And up to this day, after 2,000 years, his goodness still manifests. Then the people turn for Moses to take them out at the depression that they was in. And for 40 years, they wandered through the land. So Keith Rowley and the government and in there, $500 billion disappear through all contracts and all everything. And he will come in the parliament and say that everything is in order and say it's lies. But the people should understand by now that they are suffering, not because of the URP and the 10 days they're getting a little handout, right? But the future with children and the education, the true prosperity, it's going in the pocket very quiet. Guyana have oil and gas, and you see the infrastructure after how much years Burnham suffered them. And it's the same model. Now, when Heinz and them talk about murder, it's an intimidation to show the public, hey, all the walk outside there and all the be free, hush up, so you don't need money to go out and spend again, because you're afraid to have money in your pocket. Where people going to get employment? To pay property tax, pay increase in light bill and water rate. Yeah? and they're talking about roads, that they have money to pay road, they're borrowing. This is the $3 billion they borrow for road improvement. And Mr. Roberts, when they talk about my political leader all week, it's because, and he said George, right? And she hoodwinkers in Parliament, keeping her back down from venting. And that is where my political leader know it's supposed to vent. There is the place and the right place. But when the supporters of them want gimme, and the same thing when Mr. Pandey was there, they could not get a dump truck and an excavator to do some contract. They say Pandey bad. When he tell them we're going to upgrade the cane and we're going to call the cane to give you a good price, they say Pandey bad. So you see, crab and barrel, they will never take. But I will leave you with this one. In India, I hear the jail, the wall is only 4 feet high. And not one man escaped yet. And the most hardened set of criminals in that jail in India. And not one escaped. You know why? As one tried to put their foot over the wall, they pull him back down. Have a nice night and a Merry Christmas. So
Thank you, caller.
have Jesus in the heart.
Thank you, caller. So I'm calling on Wassa, the people of Edward Trace and Siparia. The people of Edward Trace and Siparia is without water going on 7 weeks. And they are frustrated and they would be taking action very soon if they do not receive some sort of water between now and Saturday. So that is Edward Trace and Siparia. The people are calling on Wassa. We have the same problem in Palo Seco. Well, I think they said somebody told me that water came 5 o'clock this morning for about an hour or so. We had the same problem in Faizabad. We had the same problem in Corrie. I really don't know what's going on. And Wassa supervisor for Palo Seco, I wanted to know your place, Mr. Man. Who you want the people and them to call? You is who they are to call. And when you talking about fed up, and if anybody reporting it to the UNC office in Palo Seco, that is not your business. You do your job. But I ain't worried about all because I don't know what's going to happen to all just now. Actually, give me that tune again before we wrap up.
I have a political cemetery. It's not for people like you and me. It is for all them politicians. And I dig in their grave, no fuck with me hand. I find some of them, they living too long. And every 5 years is the same old song. Some of them dead, just shame to lie down. So I prepare for them a burial ground. Rowley, my first grave for he. With joy in my heart, put him down with glee. All of them useless politicians, only making up numbers in my island. Al-Rari, I refuse body. I leave them Muslim, them to deal with he. Big smile on my face and with maybe a hand. It's time to move trash from out of this land. In but I taking my time with he. I personally will prepare his body. Make sure he have a sardonic grin on his face. That's all he does do. That man is a waste. Bury he in the back of my cemetery. Turn he upside down, he face I can see. Look for the strongest grave digger to cover he. Not with the hand, put good fork on he. Gypsy, political grasshopper. I may feel little pity cause he's my brother. But like Tarzan, he's swinging from vine to vine. It's time I help you to make up your mind. Fitzgerald, Rasta City. I know they go glad to get the body. Resi on beat, I'm done for all to see. Drink 2 beers and watch Coco get happy. I don't care all who go vex with me, but Kamala I not ready to bury. She is a strong, determined woman like me, and deserve a chance to run this country. When she in power, I don't go hungry. And Calypsonian does get big money. She don't deserve no spot in my cemetery. I putting she in the center of the city. Paula, you too damn lazy. You sit on a throne while women die daily. You deserve a nice spot in my cemetery. All you do is just collect big salary. Regis, you disappoint me with your racial tongue. You happy. I yardie that what you is to me. A grassroots man, stand up for country. I will stand by your side and watch you at work. Or if you falter, you're going to get fucked. Watson, what is wrong with you? I thought you and Fally would have stick like glue. Boy, shake the man hand and tighten that spade before PNM come back and win that race. Shamfa, one twist sacrifice. Yet every week she have new weave, man, she living nice. You and the cold pot man resemble and strong. A bum seated red and you like a tongue.
All right, so join us 6:30 p.m. tomorrow afternoon as we continue with Facts Not Fiction. Do have a safe and blessed night. God bless. We out.
You and me, it is for all them politicians, and I dig in the grave, no fuck with me hand. I find some of them they living too long, and every 5 years it's the same old song. Some of them dead, just shame to lie down. So I prepare for them a burial ground. Rowley, my first grave for he. With joy in my heart, put him down with glee. All of them useless politicians, only making up numbers in my island. Al-Rari, I refuse body. I leave them Muslim, them to deal with he. Big smile on the face and with maybe a hand. It's time to move trash from out of this land. I personally will prepare his body. Make sure he have a sardonic grin on his face. That's all he does do. That man is a waste. Bury in the back of my cemetery. Turn he upside down. He face I can see. Look for the strongest grave digger to cover he.